Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Backstage Pass. I am your host, Vince Edwards. You may know me from Sound Image Productions. I've also got a couple closed roadie groups on Facebook, one called Death by Loadout and another one called The Backstage Pass. Come and join us. We're having some fun over there. With me tonight, I've got the one and only, my wonderful, dear good friend and co-host, Kyle Thomas. How are you, sir?
Great, buddy. Another day, another dog biscuit.
Yep. We're doing it. We've been real busy lately. How? You've got guests in town, or I guess it's not. He's come to stay.
Yeah, I got some a good family friend I've
Yeah.
known my whole life. This dude Ryan Devriant that's moved out from New Hampshire to California. So
I just met
Very
him.
blessed.
He seemed like a really nice guy, and good for you. And you said something about your mom liked him so much she was considering adopting him at 30.
yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll see
Must
how
be a good cat.
this whole thing goes. But he's been such a good integral part of our family for so long. We just got a lot of love for him. And
Very cool, very cool. Tonight we're going to do kind of a unique show. We got a bunch of stuff talked about, but I'm going to put this out there for the audience. Tonight we're doing a kind of unique thing. As most of you know, and I hope you have the same problems we do, we are extraordinarily busy right now. And we're actually even cutting this show a little bit earlier in the day. We've collected a few interviews, what were called catching up segments with some of our guests from the past, where we've reached out to them to see what they'd been up to since we talked to them last. So the show will be somewhat abbreviated tonight. And just to put it out there right out front, we advertised that Bernie Broderick, our dear good friend, was going to be here. But he got called to Canada yesterday morning for some business that was very important. And so we'll be interviewing Bernie in the future about his new product, his Curie product, and this speakers that he's building that we were all lucky enough to get on the ground floor of. I got the first one. And so we'll talk to him again. So what's up with you, buddy? What do you want to talk about?
Man, just want to give a quick shout out to Tom Lipinski for last week's show. It was absolutely amazing to hear about his time at San Quentin and everything he's kind of gone through with artist management and getting people booked, to all of his awesome stories. It was a part of rock and roll history that I had very little knowledge in. So very blessed to have him come in and hear his bits about it.
We forgot to ask him about his time with Miles Davis. He had a batch of time with Miles Davis, and he's, such a unique individual in music history that just fascinating to me. Yeah, Tom Lipinski is a great guy. He does what's unique with him as our guest and as a dear friend is this side angle where he does something that's really beneficial to society, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The folks that are in the prison that he is the entertainment coordinator, for the lack of a better term. Those are minimum security or medium security folks that will be back out here with us one day. And I like the fact that he's in there trying to provide, productive, good works for them to be able to come when they come back out and they reemerge into society with us. They can be productive human beings and go forward. So yeah, Tom's a fascinating guy to me. Plus, he's been doing it for 45 years.
Well, it was nice of him to invite us out. Maybe we should go check out and see what we can do, give him our part and our hand and our knowledge, helping him out with his lab. He has a media lab set up.
That's right.
At San Quentin. So maybe we'll do a quick post or something if we end up out there. We'll chit-chat with the group.
Yeah, they've got a little podcast called Ear Hustle and a couple other things they do, a newspaper they produce on site. I've got a bunch of them. I don't know if you saw. I brought a big stack.
I did, yeah.
Put them over there for the guys to read. It's an in-house kind of San Quentin newspaper. But what he basically does is that media lab is for well-behaved inmates can come in and study the industry and the production. And it's just an all-around good thing. It's good for everybody. It's good for the inmates. It's good for society. And
he's a great person to have that because I related to. He's like an archivalist essentially. He's like the knowledge that gentleman has, let alone to what he's contributed to rock history, is amazing. And the only thing I can really tie it to in my personal life is like I collect records. I love vinyl. So to see those kind of archivalists and then have it be the other side of the coin of like, actual industry professional, not just collecting an item. It's like we got those, many items from him of just cool things we probably can't fully release what they are, but he has a lot of
about that, the swag that we got.
Yeah,
it's super top secret, but it was super cool too. Yeah, and we'll keep his stuff close. But yeah, he's got crazy stuff. And then he was telling us about his memorabilia collection and he's kept everything.
Yeah.
So imagine from 77, working with Bill Graham Presents, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, all the, these crazy tribute stars, Nina Simone, who's infinitely fascinating, a jazz artist that was a little bit nuts, actually.
And you know he's a good archivalist because when the camera turned off, he kept on with stories that we were very interested in.
Yeah, probably a better part of an hour after
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
You could have done 3 or 4 shows with that guy.
Technically, we may bring him back, but I am interested. Yeah, he's an infinite, bottomless well of information and cool, relatable stories and, just experiences because he's just had his finger, I think we guessed around 2,600 shows he's been involved with, from really famous places around here, like Paul Mason's place at Mountain Winery, which is notorious for having super cool high-end shows, and and then producing the Bammies and all that for years and years, which is an extraordinary thing. That's where I first met him in '86 with Eddie and the Tide, one of the early bands that me and my brother worked for.
Crazy.
One of that we went there. They had been had up for 3 awards, and they won all 3 of them.
No shit.
Yeah,
wow.
And it was super fun. It was like Journey played that night, and all these other fucking crazy bands. It was one of my early introductions to hanging out with the big leagues, and it was a lot of fun. And he made it super fun too. It's just kind of what he does. He's just a good guy. So yeah, it was great to have him. Thank you, Tom, for being on, and we will take you up on your offer to come out and maybe answer questions to your media lab and see if we can help out and be of any kind of assistance. I offered that to him because not just us coming out there, but anything we could do, speaker on a stick. He's got a big, huge artist in his sights that he wants to bring to San Quentin, and we can't really talk about it, but think biggest of the big, and I'm pretty sure he'll get that done, and we'll bring the PA over there and help him out.
Awesome. Anything that guy
Maybe
needs.
you can go in on that with us. It's a lot of fun doing a show there. It's a little mixed emotion of like, I'm in fucking San Quentin. You go in and the fucking door closes behind you real loud. And then they fucking get under your rig with mirrors and dogs and fucking, it's a trip. It's a different, it's a very different environment that we're used to working in it, but at the same time, super exciting and fun.
Good shit.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we hit 30,000 members in our Facebook group.
Yeah, it's kind of a combined thing. So, Death by Loadout is, I like to say that it's a couple years younger of a page, but it's got 19,000 people in it. And it's because we have a different standard of who we allow into that page. It's a little more touristy. Sure, it's a bunch of us, but there's also some Klingons, some folks that are looky-loos, just want to check in and get a sense of the vibe. So I'm a little more lenient on that one. But the Backstage Pass, which is a much older page, is just turned 11,000 members. That's because we are pretty strict about who comes into that group. So we don't have knuckleheads, chiming in with stupid ideas and putting up stuff that's not related. And so between the groups, as of last week, we went 19,000, 11,000 respectively. I had 32 people ask me to join the group this morning. It was a kind of a big overnight thing.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, just from overnight. And yesterday was like 56 people. So we're moving along, but I have to say no to a lot of folks because I want to kind of keep it just us,
Well, those are good problems, and we appreciate, our followers and everybody that supports these groups. We just want to thank you very much.
Yeah, 30,000 people as members is pretty interesting, kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're still plugging away with these Avid SXL classes with Robert Scovill.
Yeah.
That's been going really well. Some smart classes are coming up.
Did you take one yesterday?
I just sat in, with something that Chris and the Signal the Noise boys posted about, which was very helpful. I liked the new updates on version, the new version that came out.
8.5?
8.5, yeah. Yeah, it was really helpful. I think it's going to be really fun getting Scoville back going now that he has the new lab set up. He's also got that going. But he's been doing the side training for us for, what, I'd say about 6-7 months now?
Yeah,
maybe
something
longer.
like that. It's been a very thorough education on the SXL and all the fun things that it can do. And, as a teacher, Robert Scovill is one of the best. He's got a infinite unlimited, what seems like unlimited knowledge on the things that he teaches, and he's real patient and nice. So it's a good way to learn, if you can.
Yeah, it's been a treat. I haven't really been able to watch them and contribute on Thursdays, so I always go back and have to rewatch them, or when I actually have the time to do it. But it's been a wealth of information. I can't be thanking him enough for the time that he's put into this.
Yeah, we're going to talk to him a little bit tonight. He's one of our guests tonight. Again, it's a clip show, so we reached out to him a little while ago to see what he was getting up to, about his the Robert Scovill, the lounge, the back lounge, as it were, which is a kind of a free flow, free thinking kind of thing with a bunch of heavyweights, just kind of talking about the problems of the day or issues and concerns. And then the lab is the lab. That's kind of what it sounds like. It's a training platform for you name it. If it's a subject that could have further light and information shed on it on a given system, he does that. So, and he rebuilt his whole lab, and
he's got an immersive setup in there and everything.
Yeah, that's right. He's an extraordinary cat. His system is really beautiful. He's one of a kind dude. No two ways about it. And we'll get with him in a few minutes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, also want to give a shout out to the EAW users group that you are running.
I'm a part of it.
Moderator.
I'm like a moderator. I supply a lot of content to it because we got a lot of their shit. But yeah, I highly recommend the page. If you have EAW questions and or photos or shows you've done with their gear, it's a good place to go. There's a lot of people come there. They're looking for spare parts for KF fucking 850s or whatever it may be.
Yeah, or even the more advanced systems, they're on your rig and stuff. I see a lot of good conversations going on with the modeling software and different cabling setups, where you put your switch, how you run your Dante. There's a lot of good things that come up in that group, so I can't suggest it enough if you're thirsty for a group that actually responds and is attentive to your needs, basically.
Yeah, and they've been really good to us. The AW knows we are big fans. They know we sit in front of their gear every week, and have been really kind with handing out a shitload of swag to us early on in this thing.
Yeah.
And I think Jim, I'm gonna reach out to you and get another box, baby. I handed out all your stuff.
We need more sunglasses and socks,
Yeah,
bud.
you rolled in your EAW glasses today, didn't you? Where'd you get those from? Did you take those off my desk, you little pisher?
Probably not.
Sounds like something you would do, though. Really.
Hey, speaking of awesome fucking shirts and swag, our loving producer, Mike Brown, rolled in with an octopus shirt on today. And I just wanted to note how inclusive and together those two things are, because our octopus was wearing another octopus.
That's true. They were wrapped up in each other.
It was pretty awesome. So just quick shout out to Mike Brown and his octopus shirt.
Yeah, thanks for all you do, Mike. You're the badass fucking. Yeah, he's back there like he's like should by all rights have 4 arms for all the stuff he does for this show, so we always call him the octopus. And bigger than shit, he rolled in with an octopus shirt today, and it was just kind of funny. So yeah, cool shirt, Mikey.
Yeah, also a quick shout out to Ryan Anderson. He stopped by today to say hello.
I have not seen him for months.
Yeah, well, he's over still, I believe, with Mark or Pam, at least at PCSL, PSLV now.
PCLV.
PCLV.
Pacific Coast Lighting and Video. Yeah, great bunch of folks. And and it's nice to see him. I think he's still in the building somewhere doing something, catching up.
Yeah, he's hiding in the corner somewhere. He's being productive. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a big bundle of fun. We call him the Yeti, or Yeti Bob Ross.
Yeti Bob Ross, yeah. Well, he cut his hair. We can't really call him Bob Ross.
I'll call him whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's one of our dear friends, an extraordinary lighting professional, and also extremely capable master electrician. He's one of those guys you want in the fire with you when shit's jumping off. So it was really nice to see him today. Yeah.
Totally badass. I also want to give a shout out to Diablo Digital. That's Greg Price and Brad Maddox. I believe you have a little segment from Greg that we'll see as well.
Yeah.
They've been really helpful supplying a lot of the gear that you see, or don't see, I guess. You hear it. We have an S3L over there, a little S3. We have an S6L set up in the corner, a bunch of engines and Pro Tools rigs. They've been really helpful just kind of getting our audio squared away for the show. So we just want to give a shout out and let them know that we really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're super lucky to be affiliated with them. This is a super high-end company that is a go-to for some of the biggest bands. You want to capture your system, your sound, your show. You called Diablo Digital Incorporated, or Greg Price and Brad Maddox. They have some of the most advanced Pro Tools and recordings. Bands like U2 and Rolling Stones, Metallica capture every single thing they do, and we'll talk about it. Every show they do, they capture on these guys' gear, and it's because it's frankly, in my opinion, the best fucking record capture systems out there and available. I think it's proved out by the customers that choose to use their gear. U2 isn't gonna. That is easily at least one of the top 3 biggest bands in the world.
Oh, absolutely. Every recording solution that integrates with modern desks or old desks, they have.
Yeah.
So you want an AVB network with a bunch of HDX cards, they got you. Old TDM-based thing, they got you. So any kind of needs you have, they'll have the gear to kind of fill what you need. So.
Yeah, and we're really lucky. We have them right here in the building. We share a little space with them. They're right over the way. And, just dear friends to boot, let alone extraordinarily accomplished people. Brad Maddox, that's Rush. That's some of the biggest bands in the world. And, of course, Greg Price, who we're going to have on here in a minute, is probably one of the most accomplished fucking guys in the business. He's literally worked with everybody. He's kind of known as the hard rock mix engineer. He does the big guys, for sure.
Totally. And we also have some Adamson training going on down south, August 12th and 13th.
You're going to join that training, huh, my brother?
I believe so, yes.
Well, good. Why are you going down for Adamson training?
I'm going to go out and disperse a rig for a little short run, 6-week tour for John Legend. A bunch of E15 boxes and some subs. So, yeah, we'll just do some training, knock off the cobwebs, learn some new stuff.
Yeah. Adamson flies. They have specific things about Adamson systems that be good to, just like you said, get reacquainted with. And so you're going out with John Legend, right?
Yeah, John Legend.
Yeah, you got a very tried and true circuit, Hollywood Bowl, Santa Barbara Bowl, all the way over to Foxwoods and on the East Coast, right? So you're going to make a little lap around the country, and that should be fun for you.
Yeah, it'll be a blast. I can't wait to get back out and
you guys starting your rehearsals in Atlanta, I believe?
I believe so, yep.
Yeah. It sounds a lot of fun. You're going to have a good time with that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Other than that, we still got a bunch of friends that are doing the same thing as me, just getting out on the road. We got Ash Ali, Alan Pettibone that came out.
What's Ash doing right now?
I forget the band he's out with now.
Yeah, I did see he's out doing something big. I know Alan's going out with Primus.
Yeah.
I think Sunday. He's leaving Sunday for that.
Sunday, yeah.
We'll miss him. That's our LD. And
we're trying to go fishing Friday, so he'll have to deal with me a couple more days. But
yeah, he loves going fishing with you. You guys are brothers. So yeah, but we'll miss him. He's our LD, so we'll have to, accommodate some arrangement while he's gone.
Yeah, and we got Drew Johnson going out with Robert Cray.
Right.
We got Travis Strain going out with the Baby. Brian Adorama's going out with
Michael
Franti and Spearhead.
Yeah.
We got Ryan Eldridge down south going out for Santana.
Oh, good for him.
And we got Kevin Wu going out with.
Kevin Hu,
going out with Imagine Dragons.
Yes, I think he just finished up with the Luminaires and is now literally jumping right off of that tour onto the Imagine Dragons tour, which great customer for Sound Image. Those guys, I think the last time we pushed them out was with the A15 rig, and they were in Arizona, we're up here in the Bay Area, and Untold crews are going out. We've got
I didn't mention a lot of people. We just wanted to give a small list, but we're just happy everybody's getting back out for work. We want to give you some love and
hell yeah,
just know that we're all in the same boat, and this is the time that we're not trying to draw lines and fight each other. We're trying to help each other, and just know that we want to support you guys and give you the love that you need. So if you want to be mentioned on the show, anything else like that, just reach out to us. We'd love to talk about it.
Yeah, and a quick shout out to our loyal audience members that show up each and every time. John Del Rios and our dear friend Charlie Zaricki and Scott Cheney and Pat O'Doul. Did I get it right? I think I got it right on the first time. I love this guy.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, Pat, I got you, baby. And
times are changing. You're pronouncing Scoville's name right. It's like.
Well, I'm gonna have some fun with him in this interview. You're gonna see, but. But me and him do this in jest. There's a lot of love between us, and so when you're friends with somebody like that, you can have a little fun,
I hear
have a
you.
little gentle nudging. And of course, to my lovely wife, Jackie Canterbury, the woman of my dreams, the best thing that ever happened to me, and our dear friend, Captain William Farquay. Now,
Snoopy.
he's going to be mad because I always pronounce his last name wrong, but he's going to live with it because, you know, I can kick his ass, so he can't really. He's gotta but we love him. He's a dear friend. And what else you got, baby?
That's it, man.
Rock and roll.
I heard you got a little nugget today, so
Well.
I'm happy that we got some diversifying going on. We got a couple other clips to happen.
Yeah.
You know, like you were saying, we're getting busier and busier, and we're very appreciative of it, and we still want to make this show happen. So we'll do our best to kind of stay on course here.
Yeah, we've got some great guests coming up in the future from Robert Wilcox, who's Motley Crue fame, and Chris Kanzi and Chris Lee. A lot of interesting cats with lots of stuff to say.
What did Chris Lee do? Who's he
Chris
been out with?
Lee's he's out with RZA, and he's done lots of stuff. Kendrick Lamar, and I think he was out with Schoolboy Q and Janet Jackson, of course. It's funny because I was out with him on a show with Janet a few years back, and I didn't even realize he was on the show.
Too funny.
Yeah.
It must be doing his job well.
Yeah, and he does Jenny Lopez and J Rock and all kinds of folks. He's an incredibly accomplished guy. He's on the road as we speak right now, and you know, doing good things. And we hope we know a lot of you folks are you know, coming back to life and working, but we also know there's a batch of you that are still yet to have picked up a tour or picked up active work. Know this, as I can see with the schedule and the phone calls coming in and what's going on across our company-wide. We'll be reaching out to you sooner than later. It seems to be blowing up. We hope that whatever currently is happening out there in the world of the infinitely small, the science world, that we don't go backwards in our society and have to shut down. So we'll see how that all plays out.
Yeah, maybe send us your resume or something like that. We're always looking for new people. If you're that itching for work, maybe it'll work out that way too.
Yeah. We sent out a little blurb yesterday where the L4, the Midas L4s, that we were going to have some folks, we're going to be sending out on some tours coming up here. And Southern California Sound Image reached out with a social media post saying who wants to come and play with these for the next couple months. And
Oh yeah.
fucking thing blew right up. You know, everybody and their mother was like, "Pick me, put me in, coach." And so it was cute and nice to see. And that was a little shot across the bow into the world of the touring folks. So yeah, I think we got a lot of good news coming up.
Good stuff.
Glad to have you here, brother. Let's do this thing. So we've got, you know, we got a dear friend on the show that we decided, we were doing this segment called Catching Up, and we decided to reach out to one of our beloved friends, you know, really a legend in this game. He, to me, is one of the guys I always tell the kids when I'm bringing them in here and introducing them around and introduce them to Greg Price. I say, when you grow up, this is who you want to be like. This is a career you want to model. When I say that, I mean that for the last 44 years, Greg Price has worked with everybody from Black Sabbath to Ozzy, and we're talking decades of working with these bands. Van Halen, Rage Against the Machine. His list of credits is massive. Currently with Alice Cooper, and is really one of a kind and easily one of my best friends in the world. I absolutely love him. We checked in with him as a kind of a checkup he's been on the show a couple times, and we reached back out to him to see what he's doing and how Diablo Digital is getting prepared. Here's a little video interview for your entertainment. Enjoy. We're here tonight with the wonderful one and only Gregory Price. Good evening, Greg.
Hi, Vince.
Thank you for being on this debut segment or introducing to the show.
Thanks for having me again.
It's my deep, absolute pleasure. This segment, we're going to call it Checking In. It's basically, the idea is that we're checking back in with you. We've done a couple shows together and see the stuff that we spoke about last time we were on air together.
Okay.
What's developed with some of the projects you've gotten up to.
Okay, great.
How are you doing, first of all?
I'm great.
You look fantastic.
Well, thank you so much.
And Martha?
Martha is just a little, you know, she's just loving life tremendously, yes.
You're a very blessed man. You have a lovely life.
I am very lucky, yes.
Yes. Please send my love. from the crew.
Thank you.
Let me see. I wanted to check in with some of the stuff we talked about last time we were on the air together.
Okay.
First of all, last time we talked on the air, you were producing and directing a benefit show called the Big Love Benefit Concert. How'd that turn out?
I want to say better than my wildest dreams, Vince. You were here.
Yes, sir.
You were part of it.
Mm-hmm.
My first time as a director, producer.
You killed it. You really made that all come together.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that. But so, couple of things. I'm not mixing sound.
That was a different there. That was a little bit
I
different.
didn't have my hands on the sound.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the lighting.
Nope.
You know? So these were things that I had to get used to and understand and accept the talent of other folks. And luckily, we had a great group of people.
Yes, sir.
And they really performed to my wildest dreams.
Well,
They would listen. They were so good at listening to what I would say, what my dream of the look. You know, you and I talked about this so much. The look of the show and the feel of the show. And they captured it.
Yeah, well, I think when we did the math on it, we had over 300 years of experience in the building. I mean,
At least.
So there's a collection of people that wouldn't ever, otherwise able to probably come together.
So for me, extremely rewarding.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if that takes away the jewel of being in the middle of a field with 110,000 people and you've got your hands on a huge PA,
right.
The thrill of that.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, from a creative point of view, Vince, extremely rewarding, and I was shocked at how much. You know this because you're doing it on a weekly basis.
Yes, sir.
And it's so, I loved it.
Well, you did an amazing job. It turned out beautifully. It was
Thank you.
Really exceptional project, and I think it benefited a lot of people. So
One would hope.
Yeah.
One could only hope.
Exactly.
Especially crew people that were really in need.
As you know, I believe, we talk back and forth, and it appears that we're going to start gearing up into the, I would say, late fall area, or maybe nearing winter this year, possibly going into 2022.
Correct.
That we're going to really start to get some momentum and do some gigs. Let me ask you, what is DDI doing, Diablo Digital Incorporated? What are you guys doing to get prepared for the coming shows?
Well, I think pre-COVID, there was still folks, remember, we're primarily a technology company that only supplies digital recording for live shows or live events or something like that.
Sure.
And I think pre-COVID, people were on the fence. Why do I need to record every night? That kind of thing. Now, when we've had this void and people are looking for content,
Yeah.
some people are going, damn, I wish we had a recording of that night in Cleveland. It was just off the hook, and it doesn't exist.
Right.
So after this is done, and all of us folks get back to work,
Yes, sir.
the need to record every show is going to be on stun, is my forecast. So what is Diablo Digital doing? We're doing everything we can to stay in step with technology. Remember, this thing hit last year, and technology does not go to sleep.
Doesn't stand still. Yeah.
It keeps churning. Case in point, Apple has dropped 2 or 3 different OS upgrades since original COVID shutdown in January of 2020.
Just in the last year.
Yes. So they went from one OS to another. That affects Diablo Digital.
I imagine.
It affects all the DAWs that connect to that. So what have we been doing? As you see every day,
Yeah.
I'm testing, I'm working, I'm plugging in different scenarios, trying to make them break. You know that we sit here and
Yeah.
exactly do that. We try to make systems break. So we're preparing ourselves for that. Also, we think the demand is going to be well surpass the supply.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. I'm pretty sure you're correct about that. And so is this involved from the Diablo Digital point of view, you and your partner, Brad Maddox, does this involve, I know you got quite a bit of gear, but there may, like you mentioned, demand might exceed supply. So does that involve an investment on Diablo Digital's part?
It does, and we have invested in this time period, which is scary.
Yes, sir.
Because there is no clear line as to when the money's going to come back into your pocket.
I know. That's
so there's
scary.
that. But we're looking at this from the ground up, not from the top down, not from the Stones and U2 and all the high-end tours that use this technology.
Yes, sir.
No, we're looking from the ground up, from the people that may be pulling a trailer or have all the gear in their bus. And how are those folks going to be able to capture their shows wherever they are, whether they're at a fair or they're doing a benefit or those shows are captured for them. And so that's our focus. It always was our focus. It just so happened, Vince, that the high-end bands grabbed onto it right away because they see a monetary reward in it. And
they look a little further out.
Well, having and a lot of legacy bands, let's face it, that's like putting gold in the bank for them.
Sure.
These are shows that they can go back to and
That's
use.
actually a really good point. That this can be content that is an asset for the future to be used in many different configurations.
That's exactly right.
ways,
And
platforms.
you know yourself.
Yes, sir.
You never know when that special solo is going to come. You never know.
No, it's an absolute fact, and that's why some of your customers like Rolling Stones or U2 are capturing every show.
Yes.
Right, and so they can kind of
every single thing.
Between
if
when
they're on stage,
moment.
the machines are running.
Yes, sir.
Because even in rehearsal, I'll never forget. Steven Tyler said to me, they're rehearsing. And Joe is riffing, and he goes, "Did you get that? Did you get that guitar riff, Greg?
Yeah.
Because Joe will never play that again. And I want to be able to go to it and pull it up and have him listen to it."
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about.
Capturing magic. In a bottle.
And I do think, yes, there's a pent-up demand for all of us to go see our favorite band play. How do you think these musicians feel? They want to get out and riff, and they want to get out and stretch out and play. Some really special music is going to happen, I believe.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. And I know wasn't going to ask you this, but you just brought that up. I know you're very mindful of the artist.
Yeah.
And what the artist isn't, we're thinking about gear and workers not working and fans maybe not seeing. When I talk to you, you tend to come from the artist's perspective and what they're not being able to do and fulfill, to get that kind of satisfaction of being an artist and producing content.
That comes from my interaction. How involved I get with the bands I've worked with.
Yes, sir.
So I have a real sense of their inner feelings of their music.
Yeah.
And I'm very sensitive to them, and I believe that they are suffering probably worse than us crew people.
Yeah, they're not being able to express themselves in the way that they've grown accustomed.
Exactly
and
right.
That's got to be not a great feeling.
No. And so I can only be positive that this will all wash away and we'll be back into the glory days of what we've built all these years.
I'll always say in a statement like that, your lips to God's ears, nobody's paying attention because we all want that.
It's going to happen.
We all want that.
It's just a matter of time.
Yes, I agree with you. And last but not least, what's next for you, buddy? What's on the horizon? We've talked. I don't know how much you can share or
There are several tours that I was going to do.
Yes, sir.
Right, but they've all been postponed.
Sure.
There's a couple that are really exciting, which you and I talked about just now.
Yes, sir.
I think we'll just leave it there because you can't guarantee anything now.
No.
Somebody says they're going to tour, and then this has really been a game changer.
Yes.
So there are some really exciting things in our future, but they're in the future.
We don't want to jinx it.
And I'm very superstitious.
I do know this about you. Is it something where maybe when as time goes on and the future unfolds and we have more clarity, will you come back and talk with us about it?
We're going to talk about it because we talked about one project that I think more bands are going to want to do. And Diablo Digital has been beating this drum for a long, long time.
Yeah.
If successful, gosh, I would love to get with you and talk with you again about the process of how we did this.
I would like that very much.
I would like it too.
Let's hold that out for the future for the fans.
Nice.
Or for our audience.
Nice.
Struck by the word fans. Thank you for spending some time with us, letting us check back in with you. We wish you much success in the
Well, I want to give
future.
a shout out for all your other guests, Pooch and Robert Scovill, and so many other great people that you've had on your show. Really good job.
You know, they love you. Jim, I was talking to Jakubowski, and he wanted me to say hi to you.
Jimmy and Bob Powers, all these guys.
Yeah, we've been very lucky.
You've had a great group of people.
Yes, sir. And including you and Bradley Maddox. And,
Good job.
I feel very, very lucky.
Good job,
and
Vince.
very grateful. Thank you, sir.
All
Great
right.
to have you on. Thank you. Be well.
Nice.
Well, that was fun. You gotta love that guy. Did you notice how when he was sitting in the stool, he kind of nervously was kicking his feet, his little white shoes and his orange shoestrings? We were watching that back yesterday, cutting it down and giggling our asses off. He's such a sweet guy, such an accomplished dude, and really has a heart for the whole business and the artists. And he takes a special approach to this job. You know, the way he does it, the way he interacts with his artists, and he puts on a show. There's really nobody like him. And like I said, when you grow up, you might want to model his career because he's done it all. He's worked for everybody, and he is one of the best of us. So that was a great honor being able to sit down with him and catch up and see what he's doing with his partner, Brad Maddox. They're over there at Diablo Digital, one of our sponsors, but mostly just dear, dear good friends and people we respect. Is just to the top. They're just top-notch guys, literally one of the top 3 mix engineers in the world. And to not be outdone because we want to keep bringing you quality people that are, folks that are on another level. These are guys that have been doing this for decades, really set the industry standard on what it is to be a top-notch mix engineer for some of the biggest bands in the world and, tour the whole world. And with that said, let us introduce our next guest. We reached out to him. This is a fellow that has done it all. He's came up early in the 80s. He's been in the business, for 40 years. He's one of the most sought-after trainers in the game. When it comes to the nuts and bolts, the technical side of things, the aspects largely to do with mixing and all the different disciplines that go with it, recording and immersive training. It really is across the board. There's nobody better for it. He is an employee of the Avid Console Company. His history is extraordinary. He's came out early with the Hysteria tour, working for Def Leppard. That's the first place I met him in the 80s. A dear, dear friend, an extraordinary cat. He's mixed for Rush. He's mixed for Tom Petty. The rig behind me, which when it first came out, one of the most complicated and incredibly technologically advanced rigs, which is the Anya EAW Anya rig behind us. They sent it out with him first because they knew that would be, he's one of those kind of savants that would be able to take and put it into the field with all of its complexities and make it shine. He did that for 3 years with Tom Petty. This is Tom Petty's rig behind me. And he took it out there and hot rodded the shit out of it and took this around the world and made a lot of good memories for folks. He is an incredibly good guy, somebody I like to call a dear friend. We reached out to him. It's Robert Scovill. Here's a little segment we did with him a few weeks back, catching up on some of his current affairs and things he does. By the way, he's also a triathlete that does these extraordinary things that I didn't even know the human body could do, but he's just an unstoppable, incredible human being. And we'd like you to sit for a second and watch this little taped interview we did with the one and only Robert Scovill. Enjoy. All right, tonight on our Checking Up segment, we have the wonderful and amazing Robert Scovill from Def Leppard and Tom Petty fame, great mix engineer and an employee of Avid, kind of the guy you go to when you need to sort it out. How you doing tonight, Bob?
I am doing coolio, daddy-o. Everything's going good here, man.
Yeah, you're
Nice to see you guys again. Nice to check back in.
Sexy barracuda, look at you, badass. All right, now. So, this is just a little checkup on you since we talked last, and I wanted to hear about how I know you had some new plans for the lab and the lounge. Can we talk about it? What are you getting up to with the lounge?
Well, honestly, the back lounge has just gone gangbusters. I mean, that's kind of turned into something I never even foresaw there. I mean, we've met now. We've had back lounge meetings every Friday now for almost, 12 months, 13 months
Yeah,
now?
it's been quite a little term.
It's crazy, a crazy run. And, we get a pretty consistent group of people in that room, but we also get a lot of new people in there all the time. It's a pretty free flowing vibe there. And it's just the best thing. I have connected with people that I've kind of had in my peripheral vision for ages, there's been no reason for us to kind of connect and get to know each other. We just kind of been, as I say, passing each other on the highway in our buses and
Yeah, two ships, right.
and all that stuff. But I've got to know some people really well, and I really look forward to the next time we're in the same room together and can hang out, possibly even do shows together. That's going to be really, really cool after we've laid about 12 months worth of groundwork on the relationship.
I couldn't agree with you.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty neat.
When does that air, and how can people find you?
We do that on Fridays starting at 4:20 Pacific time.
Okay.
So read into that all you want to read into that. But it happens for half the year at Pacific time and half the year at Mountain time, because I'm one of those weird guys that lives in Arizona. So,
Yeah, you guys aren't really team players on that, are you?
Yeah, no, we're not really team players on the whole daylight savings stuff.
There's a couple
It's Arizona.
other
What can I
things,
tell you?
yeah.
That explains a lot.
Hey, don't worry. Go
So,
ahead.
if you want to sign up for it, you go to robertscovill.com, and there's a place to check a box. There's a link right at the top of the homepage. Click on that and go check the box and enter your email address. I'll send you an email invite. Once you have the Zoom room credentials, it's the same room number, the same password every week. The email is really just to kind of alert you that it's coming. So that's how you sign up for that, Big Daddy.
Well, I popped in on it. Me and the kids popped in on it. I guess it was last week or the week before, and it looks like a lot of fun. You got a lot of notables in there shooting, sharing information and theories.
But it's the thing I like about it is it's just like a back lounge.
Right.
I mean, a real back lounge.
Yeah, on the bus.
In that there's no topic. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no topic that's off limits. I mean, we'll talk about anything in there.
Yeah.
I mean, and of course, claim to solve the problem, which we don't. It's a lot of fun in there. There's nothing that's off limits in there. That's for sure.
Yeah, it seems very inviting, very free form, and comfortable. So I would recommend anybody who's interested in spending some time with some hot shots, having some fun, talking about the work.
I'll just put it this way: there's a reason that we don't record them. Okay, so they're just ether in the ether. They're just dust in the ether when we're done.
Right, it goes. Poof, goes away.
Just like live shows, right?
Yeah,
they just happen, and then they're all in our memory. From that point.
You just left with an impression.
That's right.
I get it. And of course, you also have the Robert Scovill, the lab. What's going on with the lab? I know last time
lab, yes.
you were going to change some stuff up with that. You mentioned.
Yeah, well, I kind of made the decision late here to kind of break it down and rebuild it. I mean, honestly, when I first put this thing together, which was again right about a year ago. I mean, right when the pandemic was hitting,
yes, sir.
I thought, okay, we're going to go online here for a long time. I can feel it coming here. So I took what was kind of a little kind of video production studio in my house and turned it into more of a live broadcast streaming studio,
Of course.
And of course, with the content over a year's worth of time in there, I mean, the floor just looked like a big plate of spaghetti. I mean, it was like, it was getting to the point of being a liability, And
Yeah, I know.
I just thought, you know what? We need to stop the lab for about 3 or 4 weeks here, and I'm going to rebuild this. And I wanted to do it anyway. Once I started getting a feel for the content that we were doing in there, I thought, okay, I kind of see where this is going. We're going to cover a lot more than I actually thought we were going to cover. So I'm going to put in, kind of a 9.1 surround in there. I'm going to do a lot more stuff on immersive. There's labs on synchronization between, recorders and video and live sound and video, all kinds of stuff coming after we do this rebuild. So I was literally just before I walked in here with the tape measure in the room, and they're thinking, okay, how's it going to do the geometry here? Yes,
Right,
going
right.
to have that there.
Layout,
So
layout.
we'll see how it all goes. You know, at the end of the day, it's 10 pounds of shit in a Dixie cup, man. I mean, it is a lot of stuff in that room, man. There is no doubt about it.
It sounds like you're just doing basically a home version of, stuck it front of house, trying to make it work in the real estate they give you.
Truly,
Yeah,
truly.
yeah,
And I have
yeah.
Amazon at my disposal now, so I can just buy and ship in anything I want at a moment's notice.
I have a weird feeling for guys like that is going to be to our great detriment in the long haul. They just keep sending me stuff. I keep forgetting to not take the price for subscribe and subscribing to stuff on accident when I just mean to buy it one time. It's really got me in a little bit of a pickle, Rob. But I'm going to be okay.
I don't mean to sound like an old bitter man here, but I think back. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I was saying, we were on another job, talking about this, and I was saying, dude, do you have any idea what it used to be like? Like if we needed this cable or something when you're on the road, I mean, you might have to have a runner drive 120 miles.
That's right.
Like your first move was to pick up a phone book. Does everybody remember what a phone book is?
I don't think they
a
do.
phone book, and then get to a landline and call a place and see if they had one of these things in stock, and then send the runner for it. I mean, by the time you did that, Amazon could have one at the venue. It's just an amazing
Pretty much
thing.
Yeah. No, it's a new day and age, and I guess the old school has to make it work for them because the kids got this shit dialed. It's crazy.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. I'll give them credit on that one. They got this all sorted.
Yeah, right on. Listen. Again, this is just a quick checkup. I wish you much luck in your pending endeavors to climb all the mountains and ride all the trails.
Got a big one coming, that's for sure.
Yeah. Again, the whole Beyond the Backstage Pass crew is behind you on this. We'll be rooting for you from a distance, and sending you a little extra energy in the form of love. And I want you to know that we appreciate you coming and spending some time with us today.
Well, thanks for the invite, as always.
Yes, my brother.
You guys are doing great stuff there. Keep it going, man. Keep it going.
Thank you very much.
Looking good. You look so suave sitting in that analog gear, man. I mean, that's a suave look right there.
I tell you what, it's hard to not be cool in front of this rig right here.
I mean, I can't believe you haven't posted this picture as your kind of banner on Facebook or something. I mean,
it's out there. you haven't been looking that hard. There's no way I'm gonna let. I had the kids take a couple shots of this. We put it up, of course, man. You know me. I'm trying to, to cool it.
Yeah.
Best
give it the old awkward twist of the knob look.
A little more you in the monitor, huh? Okay, gotcha. All right, my friend. Thank you so much for checking in with us. I wish you continued success and lots of love. You be well.
See you later, brother.
All
Be
right.
good.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
See what I mean? One of the best guys in the industry. There's a bunch of that interview that we had to clip out because we got real surly, and my brother came on the set and we were goofing and cussing a blue streak and having a lot of fun. So we had to clip the shit out of that thing to make it presentable to average normal folks. I hope you enjoyed it. He is an incredible guy, Robert Scovill. I cannot say this enough. You're looking to get your skills up and get some training in, reach out to Robert Scovill. Check him out at his lab, which is a thing. It's invite-only type thing, but if you can reach out to him and present your case, I bet you he would send you an invitation to that class. And the even more interesting and fun, which is really where a bunch of us get together, and you'd be amazed at some of the folks that show up for this thing, which is the lounge. This is the second thing he does on, I forget what day it is. It's Fridays at 4:20. Like he said in the interview, read into that what you will. But we all get together and we shoot the shit and we talk about what's on our minds. And this is the who's who of mix engineers and folks in production from around the world. It's a really interesting time, a lot of fun. Check it out. We really appreciate you being here this evening and watching our little thing, bearing with us. We're doing our best to keep this thing going, and in a tough time, we're working very hard and putting shows into the world. So we'll keep up with this. Next week, we are lucky enough to have the one and only Chris Lee. Chris Lee, I mentioned him before, is a straight-up badass engineer. Works for Schoolboy Q and Jennifer Lopez and Janet Jackson, amongst many, RZA. And he'll be here next week. We're going to do a standard interview with him straight through, Thursday night, 7 p.m. We'd love for you. We know you got a million places to be, so we appreciate you coming and share time with us. Come back and see us Thursday night, 7 p.m., right here at Beyond the Backstage Pass. Until then, you take care of yourselves and be good to each other. Good night.